Hello, hola, Marco. So, last Thursday, April 3rd, uh, I wake up, I go weigh myself, and I hit 256 pounds. Now, the highest recorded weight I have in my medical record somewhere is 556 pounds. So, on that day, I had lost 300 pounds. And to me, it was more of a footnote. Oh, that's interesting. That's cool. Okay. I didn't really acknowledge it too much. I got dressed, I fed the cats, and I headed to CrossFit. Now, I think that part of the reason, or a few reasons why I didn't really think too much of it, was one, my goal weight's 220. I'm at 256. I still have 36 more pounds to go. I'm not done yet. Two, I'm kind of ashamed of the fact that I made some really bad choices that got me to 556 and beyond in the first place. I mean, here's some pictures of me as I'm getting heavier, and a picture of me like before, like a few days before the surgery. I shouldn't have made those choices, and I'm kind of ashamed that I did. And so, again, reaching 300-pound weight loss, I shouldn't have been there in the first place. I shouldn't have had to have lost 300 pounds in the first place. But then also, like a third reason why I didn't really to make too much of a deal about it was because I didn't want to feel like I had won yet, that I am done, that I can slow down. No, 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 no. As I see it, I'm in the negative still. I'm trying to get to zero. And then from zero, I want to get into positives. Like once I get to 220, can I get to 210? Can I get to 200? And if I can do that, well, right now I'm in like a cut. I'm trying to lose weight. Okay. Well, how about gaining muscle? Can I do a 200 bench press? Can I do a 250 bench press? Can I do a 3K? Can I do a 5K? Can I do a marathon? So I didn't really think too much about the fact that I lost 300 pounds, like two grown adult males, or thereabouts. And I didn't want to make a big deal about it because, again, I didn't want to lose momentum. I didn't want to get complacent. But as you'll see, if you just want to skip to the end of the video, by the time class is over, I learned to acknowledge the accomplishment. I've lost 300 pounds. 300 pounds. Again, I don't like to boast, but that's kind of amazing, right? Am I wrong? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, here's my CrossFit workout that I did on the day that I reached 300-pound loss. So here I am at the new class. The coach today, Coach Ryan, actually brought in her dogs today, so you might hear a bark or two in the background.
Yeah, she'll put an ECO on you someday.
Yes, I'm about to call right now.
So the coach is about to explain the strength portion of the WOD for today. And as you can see, it's one high hang squat snatch, then an overhead squat, and then it's squat snatch from the ground. I do not like snatches. I'm not good at them. They're hard for me to do. I don't like lifting the bar over my head, squatting down because the balance is off. They are not fun, but that is what the WOD was for that day.
So I'm going to pick up my barbell from the floor, come to that hang position, right? Put your belt tucked. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sit into that high hang position. From here, the only thing that should happen is I'm going vertical. At no point should I change this direction from here. So I stand it up, sit in that pocket, vertical extension, pull myself from the barbell into a squat. Right? From there, stay in this position, overhead squat, sit it down. Then I'm going to drop my barbell, shake out. And then I'm going to walk up and I'm going to do a full squat snatch from the floor. Okay, so you're going to have a break. You have a break right here before you do your squat snatch. It's not From the top, I go down to the floor, right? So they take me next, right? So. My bad. I'm like, why you doing something like that? Let's take off. Only an hour a day. Only an hour a day. For this high hang, our big focus, right, is to get a vertical position and a nice crispy turnover, right? Crispy turnover, not a slow, elongated one where I'm like, out in front of me, try to get it snappy. The only way I'm going is up and pulling under. So it should be very snappy. That's focus. Over the squat, you know, breathing, bracing, right? Just pushing up actively on my barbell. I'm not cleaning in, you don't see my shoulder or my elbow turn in. Actively pressing up on that barbell. Squat snatch, putting those two pieces together. Right? Exploding from the floor. Use the legs. Should be two different speeds. One, as I build that tension to the knee. Once I get past the knee, then it's explosive. Pull it up. Questions for me? Okay. Starting at 60%, landing somewhere around 75% of your 1 rep max squat snatch. Shouldn't really have any misses today. It looks like a balance thing. Should not have any misses. Give you a strength thing. Okay? Cool. Then we're going to have a lot of other manual balls like that after we snatch. After we snatch, we're going to do the barbells to really power snatching afterwards. Cool?
You break your hair every day?
No.
Yeah.
No, I break my hair every day.
You do?
Yeah. The only time I didn't have a break was the day I came in for Friday Night Lights.
So yeah, here, my knees, I wake up and the first thing I do is come to CrossFit and my knees are just aching. And so they need a little time to warm up. Speaking of warming up, we're gonna do some warm-ups now. We're gonna do some back step-ups, some overhead squats, some PVC pass-throughs, some Cossack squats, and then some stretches.
Sam, will you grab me a box, please? Sam, will you grab me a box, please?
Okay, so this is Dale. He's a character. Please don't mind him. He does this kind of thing all the time. He's awesome to work out with him. He's awesome to work out with. More on him later.
He's looking for a hole.
The overhead squat or that whole squat thing or just a landing? So you PVC pipe over, have one, and go ahead and grab yourself a barbell if you don't have one. Grab yourself a barbell if you don't have one. Let's get to our box and let's do 10 box step-ups. 10 box step-ups.
I don't get more for than anything. Like getting money.
So yeah, this is my first step up of the day. My knees are not warmed up, and so they're kind of challenging right when my knees are cold. They ache a little bit. I'm never particularly good at step ups, but I can do them, which is much better than before. The harder part for me is stepping down. Stepping up is easier than stepping down. Okay, so Cossack squats. These are something of a challenge both on my knees and my hips. I don't like these, but I will admit they are a good stretch, so useful for this particular exercise.
And same thing, still staying with my box. I come here onto my knees, elbows on the box, and I'm gonna try to push my head.
Okay, now this is an odd stretch, and I find it somewhat challenging, probably because I'm using a very low box compared to everyone else. My box is, I think, 16 inches, and they're using 20 or 24-inch boxes. I have a lot of my weight on my elbows in this one, so it's kind of uncomfortable. But it is a good stretch. I do definitely feel the stretch on my sides, on my lats there. Yeah, I'm not jumping. I can do some jump rope now, but I can't jump a 16-inch box, or definitely not 20 or 24-inch box. So no jumping for me.
Alright, as we finish that up, we are gonna do a couple of drills together to work on our snatches. Work on our snatches. Your choice if you want to use a TBC type of barbell. From the high hand position, we're gonna do some jump drugs, some high pulls, some muscle snatches, right? We'll do a couple of overhead squats, and then we'll do full squat snatches from the floor, and then we're gonna start adding weights to your barbell. Okay, so your choice if you want to work with barbell or TBC type. But either way, you can see barbell or PVC pipe up in that same position. Look, grip on my squat. Alright, so from our first round, we're going to be from the same position. I'm just going to sit in the pocket. So what we're going to do right now is sit in that pocket, and I want to see a joint truck. We're going to do it together. Like I'm sitting, extending, and shrugging, and trying to get my shoulders to my ears, tucked up on my toes, squeezing those glutes. My thumbs should be tucked, my knuckles pointed towards the floor to keep my barbell nice and close. Stand up a little bit for me, Jess. Yeah, perfect. Ready, and go. Mark, I was a little bit wider with your hands for me. Yep. And then Jess, all we're doing is jump shrugging. So just go like this. Reset. Eyes up, big chest. And go. Sweat into the big thumbs. Yeah. Reset. Bring your feet in a little bit from the shoulder wide. Reset. And go. Keep that barbell nice and close. Let's not let it get away from us. Okay, let's add in that high pull. We're not going to add in my elbows. Reset. Ready. Lean back just a little bit. Yes. And go. Beautiful. On that timing, remember, it's shrug pull. So it's a shrug pull. Two separate movements, not from here. I'm just pulling. Yeah? Reset. Lean back a little bit more. Yes. And go. Yes. Much better. Really top. All right. Reset. This time you're going to turn it over. We're going to do muscle snatch. Yeah? Remember,
See, I have a balance issue. See how my toe goes up? I'm having a balance issue.
When we come back, we're gonna do a couple snatch balances. So I'm gonna be here, right? It's gonna be a dip punch going into the bottom of my squat. Right? So we're done 20 air squats or overhead squats. We'll do our full squat snatch on the floor. Barbells up in that back rack position. Now listen, you guys know your bodies better than I do. If starting off going from here to the bottom of your squat is going to cause you aches and pains, let's work our way into it. Maybe go to parallel, go across parallel, then go to the bottom. We'll do a couple of reps, okay? All right, eyes up, I'm going to do chest. Make sure my elbows are underneath of my barbell, like I'm clearing this way, because I'm going to push into the back of my neck, and I'm going to push it straight up. Ready? And go. Beautiful. Yep. Reset. Eyes up, big chest. And go.
Okay, so you see how I do not go down into a full squat? My knees just can't handle that. Even that little bit of a jump is something of a stressor on my knee. I can slowly go down into a full squat position, but I can't drop into one.
Yes. Do one more. Ready. Dale, that's a great position for you to be in. And go. A lot of power in that start position. Yeah. All right. Barbells down, gently. All right, let's do a couple squat snatches from mid-shin. From mid-shin, and then start adding some weight to our barbells. Now we'll start adding some weight to our barbells. Yeah, I like to look at the rings. I don't know if you can find it on marker. I usually go on the outside of the second ring. But everybody's different because your arms are a little bit longer than on your knee. One is in your hip crease when you're standing. So if I'm here, I'm too close. If I'm here, that's not just right. All right. Yes. Yes, got it right. Put those shoulder blades in your back pocket. I was waiting to get it. All right, eyes up, big chest. Come on. Just go above the knee. Above the knee. Yep. Above the knee. Back down to chin. Go above the knee. Oh, wait. Yeah, back. And take motion down chin. All right, ready. Full squat snatch. And go. Wait. Let's do one more. This time we're going to think about that timing, right? Remember, I want to be nice and slow. That tension to me, and then I release like a rubber band once I get past the knee, so I'm not banging it and come out wide. All right, reset. Eyes up, big chest. Turn those knuckles firmly towards the floor. Keep that barbell nice and close. And go. All right, barbell down gently. I'll give you guys an out first. Start your variation. You can have 5 sets at weight. 5 sets at weight. Remember, it's one high hand squat snatch, one overhead squat, and then one full squat snatch from the floor.
Okay, so the bar is 45 pounds. I grabbed two 10-pound plates for making it a total of 65 pounds. I'm going to also go grab two 5-pound weights and two 2.5-pound weights because my idea was to go from 65 pounds to 70 pounds to 75 pounds. However, that didn't quite work out. Now here the coach is saying you have 5 sets to add weight. However, I'm going to pretty much be keeping it at 65 pounds, except for one attempt at 75 pounds. But then I'm going to drop it back again to 65 pounds. Okay, so here I'm practicing warming up for the strength portion of the WOD. But you see how I'm wobbly as I go down? It's the balance of the weight over my head that I find a little bit challenging, a little bit difficult. Okay, and now I'm starting the strength portion of the WOD. Okay, that was 65 pounds. I'm going to increase it to 70 pounds. Okay, so here the coach is telling me that I'm basically muscling up the weight and that I should use more legs. And she's explaining how to do that. I decide that I need to drop the weight in order to do it well, in order to do it correctly. So I went from 70 pounds back down to 65. Okay, so here I'm just practicing. I don't like this lift, I don't do it very well, and I know I need to improve, I need to work at it, I need to practice it. Okay, so here, Dale is coming over. And Dale is something of a social butterfly. He likes to go and talk to people in between sets. And here we have 2 minutes and 30 seconds between sets. So we're talking, and I explain how today, on this day, when I woke up and weighed myself, I was 256 pounds. And that my highest weight recorded in my medical records was 556. So on this day, I had lost 300 pounds. And Dale's going to, well, you'll see what Dale's going to do a little later. See how it took a step? My balance is off. I'm not very good at this lift. Okay, so here the coach comes over and she explains that it's okay that I'm a little bit off balance. And she explains the lift again and goes over how I'm not quite getting it right, but it's okay. It's okay. Keep trying, work on it, improve. Okay, and that's the end of the strength portion of the WOD, and we're going to move on to the conditioning portion. Yay!
Sorry. I just wanted everyone to get a chance to warm up. Come on, Dale. Dale is probably not the right thing. Okay, next round for today is 3 rounds for time. 3 rounds for time. We've got 12 power snatches. Right? So that's going to come from the floor every rep. Right? Eyes forward, next to the chest, coming through here. This is how we catch any squat. Right? I can catch any above squat. Yeah? So every rep from the floor catching it above squat. 12 power snatches. We do RX weights, FX weights, RX plus. Then it's going to be 4 wall walks. Right? So just making sure we go over the standard for wall walks. Apparently we had someone who was very upset when the open came around saying they didn't know the standard for wall walks. Now I don't have this taped out, okay, so you have to kind of just eyeball it. But what happens here, right, so my hands cannot move until both feet are on the wall. So if I'm here, right, and I push back and I have one foot up and I go to move this hand, it's a no rep because my foot is still on the floor. Okay, so from here I suggest pushing your hips back towards the wall, both feet up, and then I'm going to walk myself in towards the wall, right? I like to touch my belly button. That kind of signifies for me. And then both hands need to be back to that starting point before my feet can come to the floor. My chest needs to touch the floor to finish the rep. Questions for me on the wall walk? Awesome. So we have 4 wall walks, 2 for FX. Wall into a wall facing handstand push-up, so you'll do 4 of those for RX plus. Other options are going to be doing a half walk. Sorry. Right? So from here, just getting both feet right onto the wall. You can do that. Right, coming out into that plank. You can do both feet onto the wall, maybe 1, 2 steps, and then put my hands back. You can also do that. Okay? And we can scale from there if we need other ideas. After I do my wall walks, I'm going to do 12 box jump overs, which we've talked about. 24 and 20 standard heights, you can also do step overs. Okay? And then 24 sit-ups. We have to add that to the back corner. Are they doing snatches after you go to the walls? Or are they doing snatches out? Well, I'm going to see myself do today. I started all touching go.
What did yourself do?
And then I did 6 and 6, or 4 and 6, and a mixture. The first set was touching. And you also got like half time.
But she's a snatcher.
She's a snatch girl. Yeah. But I feel it should be something that like fresh, you can probably do a set of 5 touching go. You might not for this workout, but the problem is most of the weights listed up here, the barbells either playing capacity or it's not something you can drop. Right? It's a 35 with 210 you can't drop. So make sure it's something that you could probably do some touching go with. Knowing that you'll want to go a little bit slower through here, if you do get some rest of the shoulders with the box jumps and sit-ups. So it's not so bad. It's not as bad as others. They're still not the end of the wall.
That's right. Yeah. When you see your shoulders in here.
And great shoulders. Don't let them tell you.
I love your back side of the wall. On the way down. On the way up there?
Yeah, all the rest. Any other questions? Then you use your arms to jump up to
On the wall?
anyone can have your shoulders. Anyone with your shoulders to go up.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, awesome. I'll give you guys about 3 more minutes to set up your wall. Actually, if you got questions or anything else, now's the time to ask.
So I cannot do the WOD RX. I cannot do it as prescribed. So I'm doing a scaled version of it, which is what you see on the screen now. So here I asked the coach, what am I going to do for the wall walks instead of doing wall walks? And she asked what I did for the open, and I did bear walks. So she's going to set up a 25-foot bear walk length for me. Okay, so already a little tired from the strength portion of the workout, and the conditioning portion is particularly difficult for me. So I need to rest a little more often than everyone else, of course. You know, I suspect that one of the reasons why stepping down is harder than stepping up is because on 3 different occasions, while going down a flight of stairs, I tripped or my knee gave out or something like that happened and I fell down the stairs, which is not fun, very painful, and I'm a little gun shy whenever I step down. Before, it was much more of a problem. Now, it isn't, but I'm still a little gun shy by it. Okay, so the step ups, the sit ups, I'm out of breath. I'm no longer doing these any more than one at a time. I would love to be able to chain them, do like 2, 3, 4, 5, but I'm just out of breath. I need to catch my breath, do them singly.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me, turn it up a few degrees. My imagination of her body gets the best of me. Oh gosh, she's such a tease, bitten lips, bruised knees. I'm addicted to her, need her touching me, cause she got a bad little waist. And we tearing down this place, off the liquor that we chase. Got some egos to the face, baby, I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on that tight frame. All game, no shame, baby came here to play. I feel like an addict cause she's sex, drugs, cocaine. Got a fine little body and her mind's kinda naughty. They say that.
Okay, so I have 15 minutes to finish 3 rounds for this WOD. I look at the clock, because I want to know how much time I have left, because I want to finish. This is my 3rd round. This is my last 24 sit-ups. I want to finish. Everyone else is already done. I'm still working at it. And I'm so close, and I do not want to not finish. So I'm just trying to blast through these last 24 sit-ups as fast as I can. So one of the things I really like about CrossFit is the community, the support, the encouragement. Because that is very helpful when you're trying to push yourself as hard as you can. Like, sometimes I wake up and I don't want to go to the gym. And when you have that attitude, every weight is like 20 pounds harder. Every exercise is just harder. But when you have people, encouraging you, telling you you can do this, keep going, it lifts that weight. Okay, here we have Dale. Dale is an extrovert. He is outrageous, he's rambunctious. You never quite know what he's going to say or do, but whatever it is, it's going to be entertaining, and he just adds to every WOD. Every gym has a Dale, and if they don't, then they should. And here, he's going to tell everybody how I've lost 300 pounds. Now, to me, I didn't really acknowledge the fact that I've lost so much weight. To me, it was more like trivia. It's more like a footnote. I don't really like to boast, and I also feel ashamed that I let myself get so heavy in the first place. So I really wasn't wanting to celebrate 300 pounds, especially since I still have more weight to go. But here, Dale tells everybody. And allow myself for a moment to acknowledge the accomplishment and to be glad about it. Because I wasn't going to otherwise on my own. I really wasn't. It was just another day to me until Dale brings it up. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that about Dale.
Down progress.
Yeah.
He lost 300 pounds, which is more than many people did that. 300 pounds last day. Holy God.
I couldn't believe that. I said I didn't take a break.
Since he joined the gym, at the end of last year, this is almost a year, he's lost 80 pounds since joining in 11 months.
Awesome.
So, the like 6 month birthday, this is really big. That actually.
Yeah.